In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
The malfunctions of the studio.
How does this happen
What a great blooper way to start the show.
It happens
This is great.
every time.
Intro music and all. So hold that there.
Please, Devin, just talk as...
Yeah, talk as much as you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep the flow of conversation.
Introduces.
Please introduce the podcast. Here, I'll get out of the way.
We got our main guy here, Mason Knight, and I'm joined by him today, the special guest, Devin Davis. And this is Cash
Kraus.
Kraus right next to me. He's having difficulties with his mic because he
This is
broke it off.
everyday kind of stuff.
Oh boy.
This is what
Oh
we do
jeez.
It's crazy that it always happens right at the start. Like
The
something
start of, like, yeah.
falls over, some ghost.
I had the
pictures
other
are
one on
flying
camera.
off.
I'll have to look in
Yeah.
the archives because I'm going to start compiling these and putting them on our YouTube channel.
It never runs smoothly.
It's wild.
We've done 200 of these, and
I'll probably have to cut this out audio form, but, well, maybe not. I'll just keep them both.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
gold.
Might as
People
well.
love it.
There you go.
But well, how's it going, fellas?
It's going
going
pretty
good.
How was your guys' weekend?
It's going good, boys.
Did you go? Oh, good.
Ooh,
We
there you
are
go.
boys. That's a
We
little
are.
hint
That's
to what we are all.
A little taste of
male,
what's about
yeah.
to come. Yes.
But
We'll sample.
did you guys go down to Portland, join in the protest this
Absolutely
weekend?
not.
You
no,
didn't?
not
No.
in any
You
capacity.
go down there,
I'm good.
bust some commies, bust those commies in
No,
heads.
I went
I'm,
north instead of south, so you know.
Yeah, you want to stay clear from it.
Yeah, I stayed. I
Yeah,
stayed at
you
home.
want to
Yeah, I'm
stay
good.
very far.
Oh, you know,
below that.
adventure to Voodoo Donuts. Just kidding. You know, just stay home.
No, yeah, you don't want to go down there.
I didn't.
I
go
wasn't.
see,
I don't even know what they're
I saw
protesting.
Schaub this weekend though. Brendan Schaub. At,
Oh, yeah, I forgot
Helium.
he was coming.
Yeah,
Was he good?
It was a good show. Yeah, it was a good night.
Was he scared of the potential riots?
Oh yeah, he brought it up.
Did he?
For sure. Oh yeah.
Was he here Friday or Saturday?
Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Fuck, I would have went
Yeah.
yesterday. Wow, shit.
Yeah, you could have went with us. We went at 10.
Dude, I was literally doing nothing.
Brutal.
Dang.
Oof.
Well,
Yeah.
next time.
Next time. Brendan,
I'll start.
come back.
I'll put you on the list. Seriously, like of people I'll invite. Like if you like comedy clubs, we'll go all the time.
Bro,
I love them, dude.
they're always 21 plus, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh, you're not 21.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, then you
I
can't
mean,
go.
allegedly,
Never mind, you're off the list.
allegedly, I'm not 21, allegedly, but
Oh, I see.
No.
Right, playing the numbers game there.
yeah.
I get
I
it.
mean, what's 21,
Not unless
60?
The
What's difference?
Wiggles doing stand up or something. That
Yeah,
you're gonna
okay.
be
Or
struggling.
arenas.
You're gonna be
Arenas you
struggling.
can go to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
I want to go to
That's
that
tough.
Joe Rogan one.
I did. Second
Lucky
row.
bastard.
Second row, bro. You didn't see my snap?
I did.
Oh yeah.
I know you're second row though. Damn.
Yeah, second row. It was
Were
awesome.
the tickets not too bad?
Price wise?
Yeah.
They
It hurt a little
it
bit.
was it would well no, I mean yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was worth
But they
it.
were they were for my brother's birthday, you know.
oh, you can't put a monetary value on
You can't
love.
No, you can't.
I mean, you can't.
Well, some do
Yeah,
do for
yeah.
sure. But well, speaking of comedies, what are we here to talk about?
Good Boys.
Good Boys.
Gone bad.
Good boys.
This is like the younger version of a Superbad.
Yeah.
It basically is. So Seth Rogen produced and written. I'm pretty sure he's progressively like he did a high school comedy. Now he's doing like a 6th grade comedy.
Hopefully we can get a
Is his next
kindergarten
one gonna be like toddlers?
Outright babies. Just talking shit to each other.
Baby's Gone
Yeah.
Wild.
Shut the fuck
Just
up,
dropping
Frank.
some adult
Yeah.
insults just out of nowhere. I mean, where's he going with this? But yeah. So produced by Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, a comedy about 3 young boys, but not a kids movie.
No,
you would
not
say.
at all.
I saw some
That's
kids in
something
there.
you take the
know?
old kiddos to.
No, definitely not. But directed by Gene Stupinski. It's a tough run if your name's Gene. I'm just gonna tell
Ian
you.
Stupinski. That's a tough last
That's a
name
tough
to say.
duo.
Okay,
That's
that's
a tough duo.
not easy.
You're already at a disadvantage.
That guy's good.
You're not pulling ladies with that.
He
name.
had problems for sure.
He's got some problems in his genes.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah,
Hell of a debut though.
produced by Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen, the guys who do pretty much everything. Super Bad, all those comedies. What did you guys think about this movie?
You know, we had talked about this a lot, like before the podcast, and I remember being optimistic about this. I was like, I think this will actually be a good movie, and it turned out to be fairly good. Like, well, more than fairly good. I actually overall liked this movie, and it had a deeper meaning than I actually thought, and it wasn't as raunchy as I thought either. I thought it was actually going to get even like, you know what I mean, like more like dude comedy, and it really wasn't.
I thought it was gonna be like when I just saw the trailer, I was like, eh. And then like when I went and saw it, I was surprised about how much I liked it. And like you said, like I thought I was just gonna get like be raunchy, stupid dude humor, but it wasn't too bad of the humor. I thought it was actually perfect with the humor that they did have and the funny
And what
innuendos and all that. So
yeah.
So I also liked the story as well of their little, what is it, the Beanbag Boys.
Beanbag Boys.
Yeah, the
Beanbag Boys
Beanbag
for
Boys.
life.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can almost guarantee if Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg who do everything together, but you know it's gonna be that dumb humor that we loved, like Super Bad. But you also know it's gonna have some, heart to it and have some kind of story. And this one did, I thought, a good job about. Even though
Had
they
some
weren't
substance.
directing it, they just produced it. But you can tell that they were probably pretty heavily involved in it.
Oh, for sure. They
'Cause
definitely had a hand
It's
in
definitely
it. Yeah.
theirs.
Well, I mean, Seth
It's definitely
Rogen
their
did
style.
the intro to the trailer with the boy, so you know he had a big part of this.
And I think they did. Jonah Hill produced it also.
He did, yeah. So you know you got that super bad combo.
Oh
right
yeah,
there, you
yeah.
know?
That's awesome.
It's there
That's pretty
already.
cool. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it too. Actually enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Like I think most people going into it, but it had some great writing. There were some really, really good jokes in it that I thought were super funny. And it had a pretty good story too. And I thought they did with any movie starring kids and stuff. It's always kind of a fear that because it's being written by adults, so it's always that kind of fear that the kids might be acting like adults or that they might be acting too young. But I thought they did a good job of portraying actual sixth graders. Like I did a
knowing
lot of this
everything yet?
shit when
Yeah.
I was in sixth grade. I felt like it was kind of like it felt kind of nostalgic because a lot of the stuff they do is stuff that at least I actually did as a sixth grader, like going out to the woods and trying a beer with your friends and stuff like that.
I took 4 sips. Yeah.
Careful,
Like,
it's,
that's such a big
careful,
deal.
it's warm. I love that shit because
He's like,
it's
"Man,
always so hot.
I can already feel it.
But yeah, stuff like that. I thought they did a really good job of portraying what an actual like sixth grade boy is thinking that you got to like grow up because you're going into middle school and stuff like that. And I remember a lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure
lot
as
of
a sixth
pressure,
grader,
yeah.
man. You're developing, things are changing.
Oh
it's a tough
yeah,
time
it's a tough
period.
time. Oh yeah, for sure. And but yeah, and I thought they did a good job with that. The 3 kids were amazing in it. All
They're
3 of them
awesome.
had great
Yeah.
chemistry. Nathan Tremblay and
That's the kid from Room. He's the little boy.
yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's awesome. Yeah,
that was a great
yeah,
performance.
Nathan
in that
Tremblay,
movie,
yeah.
too.
And Will Forte's in it. We were talking about that earlier, and I had no idea Will Forte was going to be in it. So I was pretty surprised when I saw him, but I knew once I saw him it was going to be a pretty good movie. You can always count on Will Forte playing the dad.
So funny.
The dad was kind of brutal in this.
Yeah.
Will Forte. They had a great relationship, but it went sour quick. But well, let's dive into it. So at introduction we get Max. Max is the little kid played by Nathan Tremblay. He's a hormonal middle school kid whose father, his dad, who's played by Will Forte.
Yep.
Nice, very nice. Is going on a business trip. And his dad, a little foreshadowing, tells him not to mess with the drone.
Yeah, and that's made clear right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a tough thing to ask a kid.
Not to mess with the most expensive looking fun toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coolest thing
Is it
ever.
crazy?
And
That'd be
not
tough.
have it like locked up. Just have it
Yeah.
sitting there.
I mean, he was
That
asking
out
for
on the
it.
shelf, like tempting him.
Yeah, when
like the
when
apple,
when a
you know?
sixth grade kid is just going through all these things, he's looking to act out. You think he's not? It's completely the dad's fault.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
It's irresponsible.
Oh, absolutely. You're putting him in a position where he has to steal that drone.
Like if it was
You're not
for
even
his-
locking the door.
if it was for his work,
Nothing.
like why don't you take it with you? Like you know he's gonna touch
Why
it.
not just
Come
take
on.
the remote with you?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
the
it was
remote
with the phone.
Oh yeah, it was with the phone. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, I mean, come on. He's tempting him. He knew what was happening.
Yeah,
He knew what was happening. But yeah, he's going on a business trip, and he leaves him, and he tells him not to mess with the drone. And then we get introduced to the other characters. Thor, which is like the Thor. Whoever played Thor was hilarious. The whole thing that he loved to sing and stuff.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Brady Noon.
Yeah, he was a great fucking singer. I mean, it was ridiculous how good he was. Like it was like
I thought he was gonna be garbage, and then he started singing. And I was
know.
like,
You're like,
I
oh,
was
that's
like,
actually pretty good.
oh damn, okay.
and I thought all the kids were gonna be making fun of him for everything. But this movie did a good job of showing how kind of different school is nowadays, with how like anti-bullying is and everything. We already have that anti-bully group,
Scab.
whatever the scab, yeah. But like things like that, that's how it is. Really is though. I mean, it's completely and like everyone is like supportive of everyone. Also, it's bizarre for sure. I remember being pretty cutthroat back in my day. You did not get a lot of support from anyone. Not even the teachers were really looking to support you. But yeah, and they call themselves the Beanbag Boys.
I wonder where they got that name.
I know.
I wonder if
It was
they had-
hilarious that they kept bringing
Yeah.
up. We have
like 5 times.
beanbags.
Yeah, we have beanbags. Like it was the
Like, it was
greatest
so clever,
revelation
like,
ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and the three of them, they're all trying to grow up and whatever, and it shows Lucas, who Lucas was hilarious too. Man, he was really funny. But his parents are going through a divorce, and it's a tough time.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
man,
that
he's got-
scene was so funny though.
He's got 2
with the
Taco
parents.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, yeah.
2 Christmases.
Yeah, you're
like,
gonna have 2 Taco
birthdays.
Tuesdays. Just one's gonna be on Wednesday.
Yikes.
I know that was brutal, and they were giving him all the food he wanted, and like his soda and everything, and
He crushed like 3 of those orange sodas.
yeah, he's like, "This is
"Man,
the best day ever," and then it just cuts to we're getting a
Yeah,
divorce.
it was just right there. Yeah.
You know, as soon as you get your favorite dinner and your favorite drink, something's fishy.
Something's up, yeah.
Something's going wrong.
I love
It
though
was
that
too
it,
good to be
it
true.
directly cut from him telling the divorce to right like they're in a choir class, and he's gonna
Just
sing that song. He's just
He's-
tears.
right,
are
yeah.
coming. But,
Happy Days or whatever, or Sunshine.
Walking
Yeah.
on sunshine.
Yeah,
or
Walking
something.
on Sunshine. Yeah.
and it introduced like the choir / drama teacher. There was something up with him immediately. He was a little too energetic about the whole. But I gotta tell you, the fucking Rock of Ages he put on, that's gotta be the greatest middle
Incredible,
school.
the greatest show of all
Oh,
time.
His
my God.
masterpiece.
It was his masterpiece.
The set
yeah.
quality of a middle school
Quite
play.
impressive. Yeah, I mean the budget this guy must have had.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's pretty incredible.
I mean, it
put
could
a
have been
lot
on
of time into
Broadway.
that.
I would have paid money to go and see it. It was very well done.
I was convinced.
The singing, fantastic for middle schoolers. I've never heard
know, it
anything
was
like
just-
it.
It was like CD quality singing. It was like a high school musical, but yeah, very very well done. But
Better be
eventually,
charging at the gate.
oh yeah,
Big money.
but eventually the Beanbag Boys, they go to the skate park because Max has a crush on a girl. Right, that's the big.
Yep.
It's classic,
Classic.
classic 6th grade shenanigans. So they go in the skate park, and that's where all the fucking.
To the
That's where the Razor Boys hang
Scooter
out. The
Boys.
Scooter,
Scooter
Boys.
kids.
And that's the
Scooter kids,
baddest
yeah.
gang in the fucking
Bro,
school.
scooter kids always used to get made fun of. Now they're the ones.
Now they're the ones
rocking-
beating people
yeah,
up. Yeah,
Once
being
again,
the
that's
cool
the new
guys.
time. It's confusing
Crazy.
times.
It's so confusing.
Strange times.
Strange times, yeah. Razor scooters have gone full circle.
Yeah.
Started out really cool, got really lame, right back up to really fucking cool, I guess.
I guess so.
I'm thinking about getting one.
They go in waves. Oh, I'm gonna get one for
I
sure.
I feel like we
I
should buy
just
some
ordered
after
one
this.
on Amazon.
that was
after watching
my.
this.
I wasn't
One
very.
day shipping.
2 day.
I wasn't a very good skateboarder, but I could whip around a Razor scooter. Oh,
Couldn't
boy.
anybody?
Yeah, it's a basic.
Yeah,
It's much easier than skateboarding. Yeah, but yeah, they go there, and the scooter boys they're led by
Soren.
Soren, which is like the kid was hilarious also. But oh yes, Soren was the cool kid. Right?
Yeah.
What a weird name.
I thought he said this is like Sauron. I was like Lord of the Rings.
Sauron. I know
I was
that's
like,
what I thought too.
what?
But eventually they get asked to go down to the woods. And that's where you know shit's gonna go
I thought they were
down.
gonna see a dead body.
Someone's.
I thought he was gonna show him some.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna show him like a porno mag.
What is it?
Oh,
Stand
okay.
by me. They're gonna show him a body down by the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
But,
crazy turn of events.
Well, there's only ever like one of three things that happens when your friend leads you down to the woods.
Yeah.
A body, you're gonna see him probably, or a nudie mag,
Yep.
or he's gonna
Or
give you a beer.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Give it a beer.
It's one of three things, and they usually never end up good. But in this case, they're drinking a beer, and that's the coolest thing ever, right?
Bro, it's
Tossing
so,
it back,
so
a
sick.
couple sips.
Oh, for
with your
sure. The
boy.
sips. It's the big sips, man.
4 sips.
Being
though,
12
that's
years
the
old,
limit.
that's a lot of beer.
3
lot of
sips is
sips.
the record.
Yeah, it is.
3 sips.
Yeah,
Three-
three.
Damn.
Three's the. Yep.
3 sips is the record, and they're all about to do it. But Thor, the one who likes to sing,
He
pushes
bitched out. Yeah.
Yeah.
he does a total excuse.
Poser, bro. He's
A
poser.
classic excuse that I could have definitely seen myself doing in 6th grade, where he's like, I got vocal warm ups. I can't drink. They test for beer,
Test for beer.
but eventually they leave, and
Without giving him his nickname, Sippy Cup.
oh, we forgot about that.
Oh, yeah,
He takes
Sippy
a
Cup.
brutal name.
You can't have that.
No, someone just died.
Yo.
upstairs.
I think so. Going to
Broken in.
13, that's a tough nickname.
You
Sippy
can't
Cup?
be. You do not want to be labeled any nickname at
No.
13 because that will stick with you. You'll be at your 30th high school reunion, and they'll still be calling you Sippy Cup.
Hey, Sippy Cup, how's
Yeah,
it going?
it's-
Tough. It's a tough.
People
nickname.
just don't forget.
Never
that
live
kinda
that
thing.
down.
That gets burnt in people's memory. You did not. That was my whole goal, was just to dodge a nickname all throughout school, and
Oh, for
I got
sure.
I got off pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they end up nicking or Atticus. Atticus is the other boy,
Oh yeah, the
and Atticus.
voice of the group. Or...
And this is probably my favorite ongoing joke, but the burns against Atticus and his parents were my
Were
funniest.
hilarious.
That's not a sick
The
burn.
worst.
Atticus' dad got 2 DUIs. Now he has to take the bus to work. That's a sick burn. That was every time
great.
they came back to that, I just laughed so goddamn.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. But yeah, he ends up getting the name Sippy Cup, and we end up then we end up fast forward, and that's when they're in music class, and Thor reveals he has like a solo in choir class or something, and he ends up going off. And
Yeah.
he's amazing.
Yeah, he's
really
an incredible
weird.
singer.
I know.
Killed it, man.
It's bizarre. It's very bizarre, but he's very talented, and he ends up talking about how he's going to try out for Rock of Ages play,
Yeah.
but eventually,
I mean, I don't know why he tried out. They should just give him the spot. I mean, to be honest.
yeah, is anyone else going to
out sing him?
I mean,
No,
the guy
hell
is
no.
he's
No,
clearly
no, no,
more
no.
advanced.
It's very talented. Yes.
That kid shouldn't even be in school. He should be on Broadway.
Yeah,
I mean,
already,
It's
yeah.
obvious that
I'm surprised he's not signed already at this point in his life. But
yeah, it's incredible. But yeah, but he eventually ends up not signing up because he's embarrassed or something, right?
yeah.
Well, because Soren comes up to him. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Oh
And he
yeah,
crosses his name off the
I'm not
list.
gonna sign up for this. No, I'm gonna be a cool kid.
I forgot about that.
Right.
That's what you're worrying about in 6th grade, man. It's all about that
Being cool.
that
It's a
coolness.
big
Am I
deal.
right? Yeah, it's huge.
He's gotta have clout. He's not. Clout.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the part of the scab crew.
No.
No.
With those
God,
yellow
those guys
hideous
fucking
vests,
lame.
those stupid whistles.
Okay,
Please
honestly, those
stop.
whistles are kind of. They're useful, you know.
Not in school.
Yeah, you just want to get
Whistle?
punched in the face.
Not in school.
Bro, I'm
Bro,
blowing
if
that
someone was
whistle
blowing a
every
whistle
time.
at me at friggin' 8 in the morning when I'm trying to walk in that building, if someone's blowing a whistle at me, I'd be very upset.
Yeah, I'd be shutting it
Bro,
down. As a teacher, I'd be
Or if I
upset.
even heard it, if they were just blowing it at someone else, I'm like, come on, man, you're being disruptive.
And it's hilarious when
Man.
I'd hate it.
So we gotta explain. Scab is like this anti-bully group, and when you're getting bullied, they like
They all
Roman
circle around
style
you.
surround you.
It's
and
literally
start
the
yelling
exact
at you.
definition of a safe place. I
It
don't think you
is.
could ever have it, but it's literally that
It is,
definition.
and I like that they added that, or I like that they showed that,
Remind me
because that
of,
is
like-
how it is in schools, especially now. But
Yeah, they remind
it's-
me of like the
they
PC
don't
people
really
off
have
South
these,
Park.
do they? In
Bro, they
schools?
gotta have these now.
well,
At
even when
colleges
we
or
were in
something?
school, we
Come
had a
on.
ton of
Yeah,
anti-bullying.
colleges, yeah, because they're ridiculous. But
Even when
They
we were in
gotta
school,
have
we
them.
had a ton of anti-bullying, like
well, yeah, but
anti-bullying
they don't
club
actually
and
circle
stuff.
around people.
No, but
like
this
that.
is
Anti-bullying
little kids,
stuff
though.
made bullying
Yeah, that's
worse
true.
every time.
No, we always, whenever we had the anti-bullying, like, the anti-bullying big like seminar. Remember we used to have those in high school?
Yeah, no, I remember those.
And
yeah.
people would be nice to each other for like 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, everyone would be like, "Oh, it's just everyone getting along." Nerds are getting along with everyone, and then after 2 weeks, everyone just forget about it. Go back to exactly how it was. Kids are fighting in the halls. No one's getting along. It worked for 2 weeks. That's the biggest anti-bullying ever did.
Hey,
But,
2 weeks is a long time. You know?
Yeah,
it's
it
pretty
is.
good. It saves lives, honestly.
Sa-
but,
yeah, saves lives.
Right after that,
Also ends some. But
it's no good.
Fair game.
Yeah. But it seems to work in this school, man. Everyone seems to pretty much get along. But you don't want to be saved by the scab crew. It's horrifying.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're a little overboard.
I think
That's
maybe-
that was the point
yeah.
I was trying to make. They're
Why
just
aren't they
overboard?
Why aren't they surrounding the bully? Why are they surrounding
yeah,
the
exactly.
victim?
They should be like trying to
Yeah.
like,
Gotta
alert
have a
an
safe
authority.
space.
Yeah,
But yeah, and
you're kind of enabling the bully to just do it again.
I
Right? If you circle the victim, like that's a
yeah,
terrible idea.
embarrass the bully.
Yeah,
Don't embarrass,
the victim.
I'm
Shame them.
If I'm a kid, I'm thinking, oh well, this is just more.
attention, unwanted attention.
This is just
Exactly.
more stuff I can have to embarrass this kid about.
Yeah.
It's more material.
Material.
He's like writing up a stand-up bit. He's like, I can't wait to give this diss and that. Yeah.
But so they go to lunch, and at lunch, Max gets invited. Just Max though gets invited to Soren's kissing party.
What?
Whoa.
Kissing party. You got
Whoa. And guess who's gonna be there? Brixley.
Brixley. All these weird names these days. What's
Very
go-
unique names. Yeah,
Very
for
unique.
sure.
Can't wait.
What happened to
name my kid
Sarah
ABC.
and Jessica and they got all these crazy names.
They do.
Anyway, so they get invited, but Max he kind of gets like a +2, right? To
Yeah.
invite them. And at this point, Lucas isn't doing so well.
No.
No one's asking him what's wrong. He's just crying constantly because his parents are getting divorced. Sad, but funny.
Yeah, very
But
depressing.
very funny, yeah. But, yeah, so he lies to him and says that Thor and Lucas are invited. And Soren agrees and lets them come. And the boys realize that none of them know how to kiss. So what do? You don't know how to kiss?
You
You
practice.
spy on other women.
Well, first you hit the internet up.
Oh, that's right.
Because in this day and age,
That's probably the
in
funniest
this day and age,
scene.
you can't just go
It
straight
is.
to
It's
spying.
really funny.
Funniest scenes when they.
And the
Typing
fact
it
that they
in the
hit the
computer.
B
Yeah,
and then
the porb.
backspace
Yeah.
and then N. Yeah.
So they go. So they go on the computer and they look up how to. Or what do they type in?
They type in like boobs at first.
Boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah.
They just typed in, and they just brought up like breast cancer, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then they typed in porn. They just typed in porn.
They typed in porb
Yeah.
Porn.
and then
Yeah.
porn.
My biggest gripe about this movie is I felt like half these jokes were shown in the trailer.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
That was
definitely.
I feel like every time
There
I
was
feel
a
like
lot
knew
of
someone
them.
was that was crazy. That was way too many. They released way too many trailers for this. They should release one and then let it go. But
I totally agree.
I feel like I knew almost every joke. Like the porb joke, I knew that was coming because I saw that.
Yeah,
in
we
the
saw it in
trailer.
the trailer. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, so that kind of that was kind of a bummer for me.
That's the
'cause a
problem with
lot
us.
of 'em-
We watch all the trailers and stuff all the time, so it's like
But
it's
even
almost
if
too much
even if
these
you
days.
go to movies, you're gonna see a lot of trailers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to avoid if you're
Yeah.
going to a movie.
when if you go to a movie, they got 25 minutes of freaking trailer, so it's like you always see it no matter
Oh,
what.
yeah.
It's so
to
annoying.
avert my eyes and
Yeah, exactly.
cover my ears.
You almost have to show up 15 minutes late.
But then you get shitty seats.
Yeah, that's true.
Hard time out here.
So they look up some porn on the computer, and it scares them. They're very scared from. They're like scarred probably for
Yeah.
life. But and then they're running. But Thor says that his mom has a CPR doll. They go practice on it. It's not a CPR doll.
Definitely not.
It's
No.
not. It's a sex doll. And Thor's parents. They're the freakiest goddamn parents on the block, man. They have just non
Everything.
A
Yeah.
sex swing just in their bedroom. They're not even hiding it.
No, they're not. They don't care at this point.
No. But yeah, so they try, and it's pretty funny because Max does kiss, and they do this whole thing about consent,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
which is funny because yeah, because again that's things that they constantly hammer kids about, of course, even at that young of age.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he asks permission, and then he kisses, and he gets a fucking pube in his mouth. Classic.
it's also sticky.
So gross.
He's like, "Why is it sticky?"
yeah, why is this sticky?
God
Everyone in
damn
my
it.
theater lost it when I have.
That's brutal. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, my theater like that too. The sex doll played a huge role in this. Man,
Yeah, it did. It
that
was
old
in a
girl
lot of
was in
scenes.
this a
Yeah,
lot.
it was.
Had
Played
more
a pivotal
scenes than his
role.
dad.
I know. But yeah, so they try, and eventually they don't like kissing on the sex doll, and they eventually go out and end up spying on their neighbors. But they have to use the drone.
Exactly.
The drone that they weren't supposed to use because his dad said not to.
Who would have
What?
thought that drone was going to come back in
No.
handy? Who would have thought it? But they do, and they spy on their neighbor, and it's her neighbor Hannah, I think, and Hannah's friend and Hannah's boyfriend, who's like a drug dealer, sorority guy.
For sure.
Sorority,
Total frat guy.
Frat guy.
Yeah.
Frack it.
But
Delta, Sigma, Phi, Beta, Delta.
yeah, and they end up breaking up immediately. But he gives her Molly first, and the Molly, that's where the Molly sets it all off. They end up spying. The drone gets hit out of the goddamn air from the girls.
Yeah. Well, because they were fighting about it.
Yeah, Thor and Max were
Yeah.
arguing.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Figure it out.
If you're gonna be perverts, you gotta
You gotta have
Be under
teamwork.
control.
Yeah, I
goodness
mean,
gracious. Yeah, teamwork.
I mean,
Teamwork
how
makes
else
the
are we gonna
dream
get it
work.
done? Come on.
Seriously,
Gosh.
but the drone ends up getting taken by Hannah, and they end up holding the drone kind of hostage.
Yep.
Right, and saying that they're not gonna give it back.
She had me convinced at first when she was like, welcomed them into the house. I was like, oh wow, she's
Oh,
actually
not me.
really
I was like, there's
understanding.
no way.
Oh yeah, okay. The movie just ends right there.
Yeah,
15
it's
minutes
like,
in,
okay, that
yeah,
was a
roll
film.
credits.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that
wasn't
was
my
e-
favorite movie.
I was like,
but,
that was easy. I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, ah, psych. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but so they get invited in. The Beanbag Boys go to try to get the drone back, and Hannah says that she's not giving it back to them.
Nope.
Because they're perverts. They're always they're joking. They're eventually gonna give it back. At least that's what I thought. But and Thor on the way out, he fucking steals. This kid loves stealing everything. He's gonna be a criminal for sure.
Definitely will be.
Sure,
Yeah.
thief.
But he ends up stealing their bag, and their bag has the Molly in it, right?
Yeah.
Who's Molly?
And I love.
These are some great scenes here. Yeah, definitely some great jokes.
I love the joke of the ongoing joke of them not being able to open up the childproof
Oh, yeah.
bottles,
Bottle, the
and
vitamins.
it keeps
yeah.
coming into play every time. Go ahead and open it for me, and he can't. But yeah, I love the scene of them trying to open it up, and it's like a montage, and they're like kicking it.
Yeah, they're jumping on it at one point.
Pliers.
Because I honestly thought they're gonna end up taking it.
Oh yeah,
I
so
thought,
did
I'm like,
I.
how
Yeah, if they got it open,
raunchy is this gonna get? I'm like, how
Yeah.
crazy is this gonna get? Well, these sixth
that would've
graders gonna
got
take a bunch of
wild.
Molly.
Well, yeah, because that would probably kill them. That'd probably
Yeah,
they probably
bro.
OD.
Oh yeah, but
Fine. They'll be all right.
well, they're gonna grow for sure.
grow from that experience.
Yeah, they're gonna. So they can't, but they can't. They end up not being able to take any of the Molly, and Hannah ends up calling the phone that was in her bag, and they end up meeting or wanting to meet at a playground the next day
Yeah, like
at 7 a.m. or
7:45,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they have a meeting, and it goes to shit. But eventually, it's pretty funny too, because he's like, I like the part where he's like, distract her, and Thor's just talking, and Thor and Lucas, and he's in there trying to get the drone back on or whatever.
Yeah, and
they're
gets
just
it
talking
started.
bullshit. Yeah, but eventually they get the drone, or they almost get the drone.
I like these scenes though, because I like Lucas when he's freaking out. He's like, "You made us bring drugs to a fucking playground." Like that shit's funny to me.
Yo, he gets hyped.
Yeah, he gets loud as hell.
He needs
too, so
rules in his
everyone
life.
hears it.
He
Oh my
needs.
gosh.
Yeah, well, that's what we learned
rules
about
and
Lucas. He's
order
kind
in
of a
his life.
hard ass.
He is a hard ass. Yeah.
He's yeah, and he burns the kids a couple times. He loves telling the truth. That's the thing he loves. He loves rules. He ends up saying that.
Bro, he burned them like 10 times.
Oh
after
yeah,
the
he was
round.
horrible. He's just gonna get caught. But yeah, they get the drone back kind of, but it ends up getting ran over by a school bus.
I could see that coming from a mile away. But...
And man, the scream Jacob Tremblay had when the drone broke.
Oh, bro, he was
He
terrified.
was terrified. Like that was a scream from hell.
The high pitched scream that Lucas did every time.
Every
he got scared,
time, yeah, he got
it made
scared.
me laugh every time, and he kept doing it, and
I
it made
know.
me laugh every time. God, it was hilarious. But yeah, the drone gets ruined, and now they got to go buy a new drone, right? Which I thought, how the fuck are these kids gonna get? And that drone's got to be
Oh,
expensive.
wait, this is where games come in handy.
This is where little do we know they have a valuable magic,
Which they
cabinet.
showed in like the first scene of the movie.
They did, and they said that it's worth $600 now. And they also get chased through a school during the scene. The girls try to chase them,
That's right. Yep.
and they end up running away from that. But yeah, they end up having to sell their rare card to a.
Well, we got to talk about that too, because he pops his shoulder out when they're running away from the girls.
Oh, it's this scene, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Lucas.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we got that about he runs in a pretty brutal fucking.
Some gnarly bike riding. Though.
Yeah, seriously, he was hauling ass.
But again, this was a joke that if it wasn't
I
ruined
know.
for me in the trailer, it would have been
It
hilarious
would have been awesome.
to me. It would've
But
been
we saw it coming.
Oh yeah, and almost every trailer I saw it show that. It would have been super surprising to me. But yeah, we saw it coming, and it is a gross. His arm is like 6 inches longer. But yeah, he ends up popping out of the socket, and they end up
I
having.
love how Thor and Max are like gagging. They're like trying not to throw up. They're
Oh yeah,
it's like,
I'll get the bikes. And
Yeah,
throw
he's
it.
like
I like how
driving.
that what's her friend's name, Lily? I like how she just took off
Yeah.
because he's like said their babysitter tried to have sex with him or something. And then the guy saw his arm, the bus driver. He's like, "Oh hell no!" And he got the hell out of there.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
but eventually they end up learning.
That was actually a smart move though by the boys, because like out of all things, that's what you would say, right?
Oh yeah.
Get her away from you.
But eventually they end up learning how they end up looking online and finding out how to pop his arm back. And what a tough
Which
kid.
is so funny because they do the garbage can scene and they ram him in, but it's his wrong shoulder, and he's just screaming in agony. He's
I
like,
don't even know
"Wrong
what.
shoulder."
I've never heard of that method in my life. Anyways, running into something.
You know, in the film, I know what they were talking about. Like in film, when they like hit it up against something, and they're like, "Oh, it's back in."
I've
place."
only
like
ever
some
seen people just pop.
bullshit.
Yeah, I know it
Some
is.
bullshit.
I know only ever seen people just pop it back in by pulling it down. I've never seen it
Pulling
ramming it in.
down. When do you put it up?
You've never seen ramming it in?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it's like a sports thing. You know, like in the football movies, they're like, "Oh, just pop it back in," and they're.
I've
they do
seen them
that.
just like pop it back in
Yeah.
like that, but no, I've seen people pull it down to like what they do.
Yeah.
It happens all the time in MMA. People trying to throw haymakers and it just pops out.
Right.
There's a famous video of the opponent just coming over and popping it back in, and they just keep the fight going.
Damn.
As soon as you get it back in, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But without it, it's pretty much useless.
Well, you got longer reach, bro. You're good.
You do got a long reach, but I don't think you can move it at all. You
No, not at all.
might be able to slap someone. You
Stability's
might be able
not
to
there
slap
anymore.
someone with
It's
it.
a whip. You whip
It's
it
a
around.
limp arm. But yeah, they end up popping it back in, and then going back to Thor's house because they're gonna sell the card now.
Right.
And they sell the card. They find a buyer online. The guy is sketchy as all hell.
He is definitely.
He's
It's
he's
funny
played
'cause
by
they're
someone. He's
upstairs
played
at
by
this
someone
point.
super famous. I can't remember his name though. But yeah, he's he looks like a pervert, and they end up saying that's pretty funny.
Yo, look, that's definitely a pedophile look. Come on, man.
And they end up setting up the sex doll to pretend that their mom is there in the next room.
Well, yeah, and
Smart,
they got like
smart.
the masks on and the dildos and stuff in their hands when they open the door.
Yeah, they
and
because
he's
they
like, "I'm not a pedophile."
Yeah,
Like, he
'cause they
keeps
think-
asking because
they think that they need weapons, so they go and get like the anal beads. And
Right.
stuff
I like
like
how
that.
Thor has the
Anal.
anal beads. Luke's just like, these smell like shit.
yeah.
I like how Max is wearing like the gimp mask. Like, what's that gonna protect him from? Yeah. But yeah, and he ends up saying that he's not a pedophile, but
I also like
Total
how he's like,
pedophile.
you think he's gonna molest all three of us? He's like, only needs one.
Yeah, all he
I was
needs
like,
is one.
that was something that was super funny to me. Where how all these kids were like straight edge, how they wanted to like protect their neighborhood and everything.
Well, that's what's so funny is they actually were good boys.
Yeah, it was
just
hilarious.
stuck in a
yeah.
crazy situation.
We can
They just
protect
wanted
our
to go to a
neighborhood,
kissing
and
party.
yeah, they didn't want to
You
throw the
know?
drugs away anywhere because they're worried about their neighborhood.
No,
and
bro,
everything,
Lucas, you can't throw it in the stream, man.
Yeah. But yeah, they end up trying to sell the guy the card, but Lucas ends up backing out, not wanting to sell the card because he thinks it's gonna break up the Beanbag Boys.
Can't break
Right.
up the beanbag.
No, it's
boys.
Beanbag Boys for life.
He's got second thoughts.
He's got second life plots. He ends up not doing it. The guy ends up getting weirded out, but he ends up finding out that his mom is actually a sex doll, and the
Yeah.
guy is like, "I'll buy that sex doll because he's a fucking pervert."
Weirdo. Yeah, he definitely is.
And he ends up buying a sex doll from a bunch of 6th grade kids.
And it's used too.
Yes.
He just
Yeah,
didn't
he
care.
has just like no
I'm like,
issue with it
yeah.
being
Yeah.
used. Ugh.
Strange.
And it's aren't what are the parents gonna be
Yeah, like
thinking like what the fuck happened to our
Our doll.
our
yeah.
CPR doll.
But I mean,
Where
you're
is
not
it,
gonna
son?
you're not gonna blame your 12-year-old son either for that. So
Well, I mean, you gotta ask
you're kind of in
someone.
the clear.
It wasn't both the parents. It's
Yeah,
gotta
you're
be the
not-
kid.
You're not going to ask your kid. You're just going to let it be bygones be bygones. I mean, if it happens again,
And I love
that's
when they.
embarrassing.
I
you
love
know?
when they.
If your kid don't even know
but
what
the kid-
sex is.
But the kid
I
thinks it's a
guess.
CPR doll still. You can go ask them. They wear my CPR doll.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, I love the end when they sold it to him and the guy's like walking away, like
I
laughing.
would have paid $1,000 for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have paid $1,000.
And then when the kids go, I got a feeling he's gonna fuck that thing. That was hilarious to me. But yeah. So they end up getting the money, but they have to go across town to buy the only the drone is in some mall or something. It's 4 miles away, and they don't have a bike, or they're just gonna bike across, right?
How the fuck are we gonna get 4 miles?
4 miles. 4 miles when you're in 6th grade. That's
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 a
my-
day's
That's
journey.
That's a long journey. Yeah,
oh man,
definitely.
4 miles. Yeah, that's insane. That's the farthest you're ever gonna go. But so they go and they end up getting rid of. Do they end up running back into? Oh no, they end up going and getting rid of Hannah's phone, and they shove Marcus's. Oh, they end up going to the convenience store.
Oh,
we
yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that
Yeah.
scene. That was a pretty good scene.
The cop got me good, though.
Yeah, because they gotta go. They gotta go get children's Tylenol
For
for
Lucas. Yeah.
And yeah, the cop comes in, and Thor is trying to steal a beer because he wants to prove to everyone that he doesn't want to be sippy cut.
Yeah. And it's so funny because the cop literally gives 0 fucks this entire time.
Bro,
but-
he said like worked like a triple. I'll be like passed out, man.
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you- Nah, I'm good.
No.
Yeah, and he pulls the fast one on him, goes to put the beer back, steals another beer.
Yeah.
And I can see that coming.
It's pretty
And,
good.
That was good.
Smart kid.
and they end up running away because they think that they think they're 6th graders. They think like the police are gonna be after them. They're most wanted, and they end up
Lock the
locking
They
the
lock
door with a giant dildo. Yeah,
Classic comedy.
it's as fine as comedy gets, in
It
my
is,
opinion.
definitely.
That's high class stuff.
Pinnacle.
Oh yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, and eventually the boys they arrive and they have to cross a highway to get to the mall, which is trouble.
It
It's
is.
just not. You don't want to see a bunch of kids cross on a highway.
Conveniently though, there was some traffic.
There was some traffic, and I love how they were arguing so much during it. The traffic,
The traffic
stopped and
sped up,
back
yeah.
If that happened in real life, I'd be good with a matter of 10 seconds. but
Yeah, it was hilarious though. I like
Yeah,
how
it
they
was way
played
too
it out.
fast. The traffic that sped up, I was like, okay, come on.
I was like, all right.
What is this, L.A.? This ain't happening. It's always slow. You're good to go. You can cross anytime.
They make it across the traffic, but it's like a fucking 9-car piled up. And what do you know? Who's on the freeways? The old pervert who bought the sex doll. Small world.
Yeah.
And,
R.I.P. to that sex doll though. Definitely.
Oh,
dead.
that sex doll got.
It's not living.
He didn't even get it home. He didn't even get to try it out.
Okay, that scene was hilarious though. When she flies out of the front window and they go and they turn and they're puking because they thought they
They thought they
killed
killed
her.
her.
They thought they killed a human.
And then when they find out we're
we're
not
not
murderers,
murderers.
they're so.
But they were actually vomiting. It was hilarious.
They're so yeah. But yeah, that was really funny to me. And but they go and they eventually make it across. I mean, again, 9-car pile up. You know, that's a
Yeah,
lot of
not
damage.
good.
But they end up just dipping out of there, and they end up getting to the store and finding out that the drone was already bought.
By who?
Oh my
And of course, there's only
could it
one at the
be?
store.
Who could it be? Was it Hannah and her friend?
And I love.
They really like that model.
I love when Max.
They love those drugs.
I love when
They love
Max
those drugs.
freaked out on the lady
Oh,
working at
dude.
the electronics.
Yeah.
He just went nuts.
It's like the sweetest kid, and
I
his
know.
dreams are just taken away from him.
But yeah, old Lily and Hannah, those fucking bitches.
That was
How much does Molly cost these days?
Not $550.
No, you must
You're
really be
spending
desperate. You
way
must
too-
really not have another plug or nothing.
You got
You know.
one plug in that
Yeah,
town.
I know.
You're really
Come
willing
on,
to go
man.
across town to buy a 550 drone for one tablet of Molly?
It seems a bit excessive. Where are you getting your money?
You can go to any bar and get Molly dropped into your drink.
no
I don't
kidding,
think that's a
yeah.
test of
Happens
Molly
all
they
the
want.
time,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, they're overpaying for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
But
I mean,
eventually,
you gotta have fun at their Kendrick Lamar concert, you know.
it's true. And you're not gonna go see Kendrick, not on Molly.
Like
It's not even an option. I don't think they'll allow you into the stadium
They have to see the Molly before
without,
they let you
without
in.
on proof. of
without
Molly.
without proof of being it.
Yeah, strict rules.
Interesting.
Very strict rules.
Never been. Can't say I.
You wouldn't know
I
then.
know. Yeah.
But it's a good time for sure. And yeah, obviously they think they can't go without it, and they end up setting up a little deal. But earlier the kids already left the Molly with the fucking cop in the convenience store, so they don't have it. So they have to pretend to give them the children's Tylenol. And I love when he throws it to her, and he just throws it like 3 feet away from her.
Yeah.
And they end up checking, and it's not Molly. It's
No.
just
I mean,
it's
who's not going to
gummy
check
vitamin.
it? Like, what are they?
I know.
Are you kidding me?
But and again, they say they're not going to give him the drone, but they come up with a great idea that they can just go buy Molly, right? Go straight to the source.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
There's only one guy in town who sells Molly.
Yeah, are you kidding me? There's not a
There's
second.
no one else. I mean,
Someone-
this guy has really got dominant on the
Oh
market.
my god, he's a drug
It's a
king.
monopoly, bro.
He's
Yeah.
a kingpin. Yeah.
It's insane. He's got the monopoly on Molly in the entire goddamn town. Someone else has got to put up a second Molly shop.
You
You're
know
gonna
the
make
frat
money.
house has got
Yeah.
Molly. You're trying to tell me? It's crazy.
But and they get it going, and maybe even my favorite scene is the frat house. The entire time they're there, I thought it was pretty
Yeah.
damn funny.
That
Going
was
on.
Oh,
funny,
just
too.
hearing the
It was
back
totally
chatter
over the top, but
downstairs.
yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? And all the frat guys are super weird. But yeah, they end up
The
going
one's
there.
like Dickless.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Dickless or whatever. and
Yes,
he's
Daddy,
a-
what do you
Yeah,
need?
he's a slave.
I love the guy that ran in and he's like, "Good news, guys, she's dropping the charges."
I was like, bro.
The most frat thing in the world
Definitely.
to say. Good news, guys, she's dropping the. No one laughed in my theater during that.
No,
at that
no one
joke.
did
I
in
don't
mine
know. I don't think
either.
no one laughed.
I
was
chuckled
dying.
a bit. I felt
thought it was
bad.
funny.
but
I was
it was
dying.
funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
It's funny. Of course it is.
Good
It's
news,
stereotypical.
boys. She's
It's
dropping-
funny. It's just funny.
I thought his name was gonna be Brock or something, but whatever.
Oh, his name had to have been for sure, but it was just funny to me. Like that's
Yeah,
just
things can
constantly
be funny
happening,
and
running in,
terrible
and
at the
people
same
running in
time.
and out of there. Yeah, but yeah, eventually the deal goes south though, and they
definitely
they do get the Molly, but he ends up pulling out the paintball gun and robbing him.
Bro, he's had enough of this guy's shit. He's just trying to get his Molly, get the drone, skedaddle.
And
I
they were
initially didn't think that paintball gun was going to fire because there was no CO2 cartridge
yeah,
on the bottom
Those
hooked
ass.
up to it. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, when he first put it in his bag.
yeah. Well, you would. There's no way you would fit in a backpack with a CO2 cartridge
No.
on there, so they just had that's movie magic.
It
That's-
is. Definitely is.
But yeah, and they were gonna pretty much end up letting them go with the Molly before he ended up pulling the gun out. But
Lucas's high ass, burned him again.
yeah, Lucas.
Lucas, buddy, you
Just
gotta
gotta-
zip it.
Yeah, and then it fucking sets off, and we end up having a brawl in the frat house.
Yeah,
Yo,
we do.
Thor gets
Yeah.
bodied.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Thor
does.
gets hit hard. That was hilarious. I didn't see that coming. That was pretty funny.
Had a
That-
black eye too.
That guy just comes flying around the
What
corner.
if
just
Lucas?
launches
Yeah,
into
No,
him.
Lucas
Lucas
just launched
pile
the guy.
drive that guy into the ping pong table.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's a
dang.
tank.
And
man.
Max with an endless fucking arsenal of paintballs shot
Everyone in
Yeah.
the room. Yeah.
Yo, he shot that guy in the dick, bro. That's
I like how they got the close up of it too. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
But
But,
he shot that guy in the eye though. That's messed up.
oh yeah, that
That's-
fucking
he's,
hurts.
he's blind.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes. It was hilarious. It was well shot too with the montage of them fighting him, and it's shot in like all one scene.
Yeah,
But,
I liked it. Yeah,
yeah.
it looked good.
But they escape. They get the drugs, and eventually they trade it with Hannah and Lily for the drone. And on their way home, Max gets a call from his dad that he's coming home early. It's classic Ferris Bueller day. You gotta beat your
Now
dad
you're in a
home now.
rush. You
What are you
have
gonna
to.
do?
I mean, I just don't understand why the girls wouldn't just drop them off back at his house.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
kidding.
you just drop some already
I
questionable
know.
sixth graders
See ya
out in the middle of
middle
this
of it, yeah.
nowhere. Like, what? Is that concert that important?
Not well thought out.
No.
Well, you gotta think. You got your Molly. I mean, you're not hanging
You're
out
good.
with these
You're
kids.
ready
Anymore.
to
Get the fuck
party,
out of my
yeah.
car. You're like, I don't want to deal with. They already had to spend entirely too much time with these.
You're
these
right,
sixth
you're right.
graders.
You're right. You're right.
But yeah, they end up going but they're only like a mile away from the
Mhm.
house, so he can
So you can fly the
back,
drone
and
because
it's-
they're like 4 miles.
It's
You know,
hilarious. They end up going
that's
to
how
that
far
house.
drones are.
And the drone, they end up having to go through a chimney and end up getting like some silt or whatever on the lens.
So
He's
they
like,
can't
I know
see.
the house like the
He's like,
back of my hand.
That's-
And then it keeps going back and forth, and he just thinks he's doing amazing, and then cuts to the house, and it's just fucking wrecked.
Dude, how strong
Flowers
is that
are
drone?
flying.
I know,
Drapes
it
are
It
getting
cut off
cut.
the
Yeah.
know.
chandelier.
Yeah.
That thing cut off
What?
fingers if it's cutting off
Yeah,
fucking
whatever, yeah.
wires
Oh
and
my
metal.
God.
And it's going through the couch.
Couch,
and
yeah,
it's
just
not
tearing it
wrecking,
up.
It's just tearing through it.
It's a death machine.
I thought for
What?
sure they were going to
Yeah,
end up
for
just,
real.
the dad was going to come home and thinking they got robbed or something.
That's what I
thought they were
thought,
gonna
too.
go.
Yeah,
I thought
they were gonna
I
go
thought
that
he's
route.
like, you're never
Well,
gonna believe it. We got robbed.
But he
Well, because
immediately
they
knew.
said that before, remember?
Yeah, when
They're
he
like,
blew-
yeah, let's do that.
Or when
yeah.
Thor broke that vase, and I was like,
Mhm.
bro,
I go,
coming into
dang.
play. Nope.
But
That's
yeah,
too smart.
his dad immediately knows. Immediately calls him and really just lets into him. And the dad is harsh. Harsh.
Yeah,
This is a
definitely.
tough
It's
time.
like, Dad, tell me you love me back. I just want to hear it. I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
he
shit.
can't. It's so funny. Yeah, he's pissed, but the drone was fine. The drone's good.
Yeah, drone's good.
House is
Still usable.
thousands of dollars in damage though. To the house,
House
is.
is-
Irreparable damage. Yes, it's an issue.
But and essentially, the Beanbag Boys are broke up,
They're no more.
Be
They
nice.
broke up like the
like the Beatles.
yeah. I was gonna say the Backstreet Boys, but
I think they're back together.
they are back together.
Yeah.
That's why I had to stop.
Bless them.
They
Bless.
are. Yep.
But yeah, and Max also reveals that Thor and Lucas weren't really invited to Soren's party.
Right.
They're just
And,
the plus twos.
Yeah, and Lucas also tells him that his parents are getting divorced. So it's a tough time for the Beanbag Boys. It's a tough time.
It is.
But yeah, and they're not allowed to. Well, obviously they're not going to be allowed to go to the party because Max is grounded, and
Max took one for the team. He rat him out.
yeah, and Lucas ends up telling his parents everything.
They don't even believe him.
Yeah.
That was like one of the funniest things is that they think that he's making this up just so they won't get a divorce. And he's like, "Dude, stop fibbing." He's like, "I'm not fibbing."
Yeah, he's like, I know you're fibbing. Yeah, yeah. He ends up telling everything and not control. But Max does. He takes the blame for all of it,
Yep.
which is that's a classic Beanbag Boy move, man. You got to respect him.
Amanda.
He absolutely
took the
did.
fall.
Yeah. But Lucas knows that they gotta go to that kissing party.
He has to
You missed
kiss
that first
Wrigley.
kissing party. You're never getting invited to a kissing party again. Your
Ever.
entire
It's a one and
life
done
is
kind of
ruined.
thing. Yeah, you
you're
either show up or
nobody.
you
You
don't.
don't
You're
want
in
to
the
be
club or
not
you're
involved
not,
in that
man.
kissing
Yeah.
party. You're absolutely fucked. But
Members only.
oh god, dude, it's brutal. But it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
It really is. But Lucas knows they gotta go, and he tricks Max into going in the party. Well, he tricks Max into Thor, saying that none of them are gonna be at the party.
Yo, can we just acknowledge Max's jacket? Because that was a pretty fly jacket.
Oh, the leather.
He had to be.
Definitely.
Oh,
kidding
they
me.
were all
That was
looking.
fly.
They were all
That was
looking.
fly.
They were all
He was
looking.
looking.
Even
fly.
Lucas had his shirt tucked in.
Man.
Yeah, he did.
He
He
wore
was
like a
even
button
feeling
up.
good.
Yeah, that was very
Icy,
funny. Yeah,
man.
but yeah, and they go and they end up going to the party, and Thor still has the beer, right? So and
Yeah.
he's still ready. He knows what he has to do.
It's not even ice cold. It's gross.
No, it's fucking warm.
He held it all day.
You don't
Come
get
on,
ice
bro.
cold beer till you're 21.
Right,
Every other
definitely,
beer you
yeah.
have is gonna be warm.
It's gonna be
until
warm. You
then.
have no other option.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just horrible. Years of warm beer
Agony.
that was sitting in someone's truck. It's all you got. It's
Gotta
all
go with
you got.
it.
It's warm at some point, but yeah, they end up going down, and Lucas ends up bouncing right after the first kiss. He's not about that.
No.
He loves
He's
rules.
done.
He doesn't want kissing.
He likes that VR.
I mean,
upstairs.
honestly, that VR is pricey.
Same.
I would take the VR too.
I was the
mean,
kind of
come
kid
on,
when I
man.
went to like friends' house, like I wanted to play like their games and stuff
Yeah.
like that. If someone's telling me that VR, I'm
I'm
like,
getting the.
I know. I
man.
want to try.
Come
I
on.
want to try
I
it
know
so
it's
bad.
tough. Kissing party VR.
I'm gonna go with VR these
going
days.
VR.
Give
Oh,
me VR,
absolutely.
please.
You get
Give
a
it to
VR
me.
girlfriend, you can kiss her.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so Lucas bounces out. But before that, Thor, he just chugs this beer. What does he do? 4 sips?
4 sips.
Yeah.
Beats the record.
And the guy's probably hammered at this point.
Oh,
he's
he-
probably blacked
Yeah,
out
he's
drunk.
wobbly. He doesn't know where he's at. He's asking.
But yeah, it's very dramatic when I love the scene when he's sipping it and it's like slow motion. Everyone's like yelling at him.
I thought he was gonna
and
throw
Max
up.
is like telling him not to. Yeah, and he is. He keeps looking like he's gonna throw
I
up.
was gonna
but,
throw up all over Soren.
Yeah, but he eventually chugs that bitch, and
Yeah.
he gets the respect. He's no longer called
Sippy cup.
Sippy cup.
Sippy cup.
Yep.
That's good though. He broke the nickname. Not a lot of people do.
They stick.
Yeah,
They
they
stick.
do. Absolutely. But eventually, Thor ends up bouncing out of the kissing party too, because he almost ends up having to kiss Brixley.
Yeah, you can't do that to his
Dramatic.
boy,
that's,
man.
That's the risk of playing spin the bottle,
It
man.
is. It is.
It's a dicey game.
It's a lawless world.
Oh,
man.
absolutely. It's a roulette. You never know what you're gonna land on. But yeah, he ends up getting out of there and ends up bouncing out. But right before he goes upstairs, he gets a nod from Max. You know,
He
the
goes,
Bean Big Boys.
Do it.
Being that goes
He goes,
is
I took
back.
one for you. You gotta make this happen.
Oh yeah, and
Capitalize.
but I forgot when Thor ends up going. They end up making fun of him for leaving, and because it's
Max doesn't take
Atticus.
it. Yeah.
And then they joke. What was he say? He goes,
Your mom's cookbook. Was...
"Yo, everyone knows your mom plagiarized your cookbook." It's such a funny burn. Oh my god, it's hilarious. But yeah, and he ends up standing up for Thor during this part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so damn funny.
Bro, Atticus'
I love-
home life has got to be garbage.
I know, and I
it's
love
gotta
I
be.
love every time they say that. No one acknowledges it.
Yeah,
no one
no
says
one.
anything
No.
about it. But yeah. So they eventually though Max ends up kissing Brixley.
Ooh.
It's the dream, right?
It is.
He ends up getting it, and I love that Thor and him. He's like, "Go kiss your wife," thinking that they're gonna
Yeah.
get married. But yeah, he ends up going, and everything's
Well,
looking
that's
pretty
true.
good.
6th graders too.
Oh,
they
yeah,
see a
for
girl one
sure,
time, they think
absolutely,
they're
yeah.
getting married to her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and and we forgot to talk about that. Hannah and Lily come home, and fucking Lily's
Soren's
Soren's.
sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really funny scene too when because they're all high on
Yeah,
Molly
they're
and they're. Oh, you're making grilled cheeses? That's
Yeah, bro.
Oh, so no grilled cheese?
Yeah,
Like-
That's
That
me.
was
Like, so
hilarious.
no free
oh,
food?
so no grilled cheese? He was super upset about it.
What the fuck?
But and we get fast forward, and Thor ends up actually going to his
He gets his audition.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like what they did. How they did the story where it wasn't like they ended up being best friends or whatever. They ended up actually growing apart, like
Mhm.
you fucking do with
Yeah.
Real.
your friends
real.
in 6th grade. Your friends in 6th grade are almost always not your friends in later in life. Unless you go to a really small town.
Yeah.
But yeah, because they ended up talking, they ended up kind of bringing it up too, because like Lily and Hannah, when they're in the van, they're like, yeah, we didn't meet till 8th grade. And then that's when they kind of get the real shock that it might be possible that they're not best friends
Right.
forever. But yeah, Thor ends up going and doing the.
Killed it, may I say.
Oh, he kills
Killed
it.
it.
Oh yeah. of
I love how
course.
he's
He
taking
was
the-
born for the stage.
Taking the hits of coke.
Oh man, it was so funny.
Yeah.
The cookie. And remember all
And,
the.
like, everyone's looking around like, what is this?
I love the parents in the audience were like, everyone was super. And then the guy, one of my favorite jokes was the drama teacher.
Yeah.
Bro, and at the very end, he's doing actual cocaine. He's been on drugs this
this whole
time.
time. He's just super edgy.
I
My
totally-
masterpiece.
It was probably my favorite joke of the whole thing. But the look on the parents' face when they was
Yeah,
doing the
they're-
cocaine. Remember he's like pushing the girl. Remember he goes in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They're doing heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the parents were like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. That was a really good joke, but
Yeah, it
the
was.
drama teacher doing a key of cocaine
Yeah.
on the side of the while the play's going
In the
on.
wings, yeah.
Oh, Mason, you teach drama, Mason. Is that
I
what
do,
it's
yeah,
like?
that's funny.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
stand on
not.
the side.
You
No,
got
I
it.
don't.
You-
Oh no,
you-
guys,
Doesn't mean you don't
no.
get stressed out. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
You gotta
to me.
start-
No, it is stressful.
You got to get more into it.
But
A
it's
little,
fun.
I think a little cocaine might take that edge off.
I think
Give
it
you
would do
more
the
energy.
opposite. I think it would. It
Yeah.
scatterbrain you a little too much.
Well,
You wouldn't be able to
it worked for
focus.
this drama teacher.
Yeah, I
It
guess
just
so. It
Put
was
a lot
great
of
show. It was
energy.
brilliant. It was perfect. Hey, to each his their own, whatever. But that's not for me.
No, it's tough. It's a struggle too, and especially when you were doing keys on the side. I mean, you obviously the guy has a problem.
Yeah,
if
definitely.
he's,
if he's doing it in the
his
middle
team's
of
not even can't even
production,
wait till the end of the play.
There's no more stresses at that point.
But yeah.
Bro,
already
he made his
done.
masterpiece. He's
Yeah.
good.
But it also shows that like it fast forwards and Max goes through like a bunch of girlfriends.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
that-
dude.
Yeah,
Max just
he's a
gets
player,
screwed
yeah.
over.
But I love every time it goes through a breakup, and he's like just bawling and crying. But
Max breaks up with a Brigsley, then he
the
breaks
Brigsley ends up dating. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
he
of course.
dates Taylor or whatever, and,
And
then
then- and
they
then-
break up and she
yeah.
dates Brigsley.
And I love every time he's like crying hysterically when he breaks up with him with all the girls.
Nobody
he's like
cares.
crying.
He's at the park or
Yeah.
anything. I'm like, okay.
And I love how after all this, it goes through like Max is grounded, and he's like in prison. He's like working
Getting
out
ripped.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, but it goes through all this, and it's like a ton of growth and everything. Like Lucas ends up joining the scab, but it ends up being only like a month. Like, it seems like it's been so long. Max has gone through 3 girlfriends
I'm
in a
like,
month.
Dang, bro.
But yeah, and I love they go to the show and they go to the after party, right? And I love because Max's new girlfriend, she tells Thor, she's like, I loved you in the shows. I was much better in the matinee. And she was like, what the fuck? She's so weirded out. But yeah, it was pretty funny. But then the Beanbag Boys end up reuniting one last time after his sentence, after being grounded for a month.
After he served his time.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
It was.
And yeah, and they all talk about how much they missed each other and how they feel like it's been so long. It's like I feel like it's been weeks, but they get together one more time, but before they separate for maybe the last time, Thor's got to show him something up in his parents' room.
He's got to show him their swing.
And we got to talk about the sister. We haven't talked about her at all.
Oh, that
she had
sister was
really funny
creepy.
moments, but it was funny because that is like what a little sister is. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
She was,
You know,
and I
when you're
swear
hanging
she
out with your
looked.
friends.
I swear she looked like Thor. Like they could be real.
Yeah, they
brother
could
and
actually
sister.
be brother
Yeah.
and sisters. Yeah.
But yeah, and I love that little sister knew too much, just way too much. And she's like, I know what cocaine is. Just all kinds of crazy knowledge. But yeah, they end up going, and Thor ends up showing his parents got a new sex swing. You know, you get rid of the sex doll, you got to get something else, something to replace that thing.
It's out in the open in their bedroom, doors
I know.
wide open.
It's not even closed or anything.
I
Seems strange.
Whenever your friends brought you into their parents' bedroom, you know you're about to see some skeptical
We're
shit.
about to see some
Yeah,
weird
you're about to
shit.
see. Whenever your friend was like, "Hey guys, come check this out," you knew it was not going to be anything good. But the sex swing, yeah, they end up having
Yeah.
a great time with that sex swing. It's hilarious. And eventually, Annabelle, though, the sister, ends up coming in and telling him that swing is for sex. And
People do sexting on it.
Sexy.
and that's how it ends.
It
That's
does.
the boys. Quite the journey these little kids went through. It was quite the day for them, man. Going across town, playing with a sex doll, crossing a freeway.
Crazy times. Yeah, that's
I can't
probably the
say
most
I've done that
dangerous.
even adulthood.
No, I will never do that ever. It's crazy. It's suicide.
He didn't
Yeah.
get hit once?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You're lucky it's a movie.
I know. I thought one
I
of
thought
them.
one of them was going flying.
I thought one of
Yeah.
them was getting
Oh,
clipped at
yeah.
least.
That's to be too dark.
That'd be super dark. One of their buddies died.
Lucas just.
So that'd be
keeps
the
it.
end of the movie. I don't think they'd be keep going on the journey. Like, all right, we gotta keep
Right?
moving. Yeah.
Gotta
Gotta
get
make
the
it to the
drone.
mall.
There's a
Across
noble
Gotta get that
sacrifice.
drone. Yeah. Would have taken a much darker turn if one of their friends was paralyzed from the waist down after getting clipped.
Like, fuck, man, maybe that drone wasn't worth it.
Yeah, what are we doing out here?
No,
Maybe
Max
we
has
made a
gotta get
really
that
bad
kiss,
decision
too.
at 12. And now it's affected your life. God, that's terrible.
Well, what do you guys think about it? What did you think about the Good Boys? Was it everything it lived
It
up
was
to
funny.
be?
Yeah, it was actually, it was everything I had hoped it was going to be. And it wasn't as raunchy. It wasn't as over the top. It actually wasn't very over the top at all. I thought it was funny all around. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this. For me, I gave this a solid B.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. As far
Good
as
comedy.
summer comedy go, I mean it's one of the better ones for sure. But yeah, I was surprised by how much I laughed, even though I knew a lot of the jokes were coming from the trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it had the most surprising part was how good the actual story was, and how it was kind of pretty heartfelt. You felt for the Beanbag Boys, you know. Everyone was in their shoes at one point. But yeah, I liked it a lot too. I gave it a B also. Pretty good, Devin. What do you think?
I went into this not really knowing how to feel about it. I thought it would just be meh. but it did exceed my expectations. And like Mason said, the comedy wasn't too raunchy, or it was just kind of like a good balance, and the story was pretty good as well. And overall, I'd probably give like a B plus.
Yeah.
I definitely see myself watching it again because it's really, really funny.
Oh yeah.
And another thing too about this is it wasn't 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes. This ran out 1 hour and 30 minutes.
I thought it was
So
a
it was-
good duration time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it didn't
just
go
long
perfect.
enough where it was like good, we're good.
It wasn't
Good,
Hobbs and
clean-
Shaw.
Right. Where it went 45 minutes too long. And we're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is
Your
ridiculous.
first mistake was seeing Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
guys.
Well, we had to do it. We had to riff on the podcast, and we had some fun doing it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
'Cause,
But yeah, and that's comedies are usually pretty good with timing at least, because you only want the best jokes in it, so you don't want to do. And there was maybe a few jokes that fell flat for me, but there wasn't too many dead spots in this movie that I
No.
wasn't laughing.
Had a good
It was
flow.
funny. It maybe started off a little slow, but it really kicked up, especially when they went to the frat house and stuff like that, and then started getting crazy. But yeah. Fucking Seth Rogen can't really do any wrong these
No,
days.
he can't. He's
Everything,
hilarious. He's
everything he
great.
does is pretty good. Except for
Him
Sausage.
and Jonah Hill,
Sausage
too.
Party.
Sausage Party was.
that was funny.
What? I thought
It was funny, but it wasn't what I was
average.
expecting.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I was expecting. Are you kidding me?
It was like.
That was way raunchier than what I
Yeah,
expected.
it was way.
That's what
raunchier
I
than
expected. I expected like a South Park over the top comedy.
Yeah, I didn't
That
think
was the one.
it wasn't South
Sausage
Park
Party.
quality.
Sausage Party.
It was a funny film, but
Yeah, I'm not saying it was like it's not on the same level as South Park, but I laughed. I thought it was funny. It was stupid.
Yeah, but as far as Seth Rogen films go, it's
well,
not.
yeah, it's not on the top
even.
list.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
I mean, for how good of movies he's done, it's
Yeah.
not even close to his
totally
best
agree.
work at all. I thought it would have been. I thought it actually could have been much better. That one that kind of didn't have any story. That's one that kind of sacrificed raunchiness for no story at all.
Yeah, it was just
even though
like
it is a cartoon.
One liner after
Yeah,
one liner
yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
But yeah, but I enjoyed this, man. What's Seth Rogen gonna do next? Again, I think
know.
we're gonna get that toddler comedy. The one about the little kids.
Oh, yeah.
It's the next evolution for
bro,
sure.
it'll be like kindergarten, man.
It could be. And those kids are gonna be raunchy.
Those kids are gonna be every slur there is.
Yeah. And I loved how much these kids cussed, because I remember in 6th grade, I said the F word around my friends every goddamn sentence I could. That's how you got to show that you're street cred.
Totally.
As long as your parents aren't around, you got to cuss as much as possible.
Got to double check.
Gotta get it out
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Good.
But so as you hear that parent, you got to keep it Christian. You gotta go from that.
Keep it PG.
You gotta
right
be able to,
away.
yeah.
Yes.
And then it's
Gotta
hard
find
when you
those
go back
levels.
home, and then you gotta kind of
Oh, yeah.
remember. You gotta rewire
You
your
can't drop
brain.
it on on accident.
And
You're gonna
sometimes
get-
it almost slips out.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Every so
But
often.
yeah. Well, that's it.
Well, that's it. You guys can find us on YouTube. If you like here, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. We keep growing in subscribers. Did I tell you what we're at?
Yeah.
Let me guess. 3,000.
Oh, I wish.
Close.
1,000.
Close.
No, we're not even close.
500.
No.
Now you're just.
250.
No.
Now you're making us look bad.
Now you're making us
Yeah.
look really bad.
100
Under 100, yeah. We're at
95.
No, we're at
No, I
82.
wish, yeah.
We're at 82 right now. Yeah.
Obviously, Devin, you
We'll
got to
get
go on there and subscribe if
Yeah,
you have not.
apparently.
Yeah, if
That's
you don't,
why
if
we
you don't
promote it
know
as
where
much
we're
as
at,
we do.
then you got to
Yeah.
go in there.
Sorry.
And,
Right.
Yeah.
I know, waste of space.
We do get decent views on our videos, but subscriber wise, we're struggling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
We're getting
growing.
there, though. Yeah, it's growing. It's more than doubled
It's
in
a
the
process.
last month or two.
Yeah, and we haven't been doing YouTube very long either.
Yeah, no,
It's just
not
we have a slow
really.
start.
We'd upload every so often, but we're actually on
Yeah,
a
but we
5 day
wouldn't
a
even
week
go- we wouldn't even go
consistent
on it,
schedule
yeah.
now. So it's like
As long as you
yeah.
have consistency, I feel like it'll grow eventually.
Oh yeah.
People are bound just to stumble on it.
Yeah, I mean, inevitably, as long as you
Yeah,
put trailer
Out of all the
reactions or
videos on there,
podcasts,
people
yeah.
just have to be
They're gonna
randomly
look up.
eventually
Hey,
hit on
I wonder
this.
what that one kid from that one movie was doing. And
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh,
What's he
Mason
doing with
Knight.
his life?
Doing with his life.
What's he
Oh,
doing?
this podcast?
What's he doing?
Oh,
You never
sick,
know.
man.
You never know.
Down
You never
in
know when David
dungeon?
Spade's gonna be like, I wonder what happened to that kid that I just ruined his
Roasted
life.
on
Yeah.
TV.
I wonder if he ended up being a drug addict and maybe from that downward spiral after.
Gets one look at me. He's like, exactly it. Exactly what I suspected. I'm like, oh man. You guys can find our podcast on audio format, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher. Social medias, Instagram, have you seen it? Twitter, seen it podcast. Cash is on Twitter, that's just Cash. You got a Twitter?
Yeah, I got a
What
Twitter.
Is it? What is it?
It's just Devin Davis 6.
At Devin Davis 6.
That's your plug.
There we
my
go.
plug.
There's your plug.
Gotta
Yeah, follow him
plug.
on Twitter. And my name is Mason Knight. That's Cash Kraus. And thanks again, Devin, for being on.
Thanks for
Good
having
to
me, guys.
having you again. Until next time.
Bye.
See ya.